We're going to work now a few examples of Grignard reactions and say that you may find when you're doing problems. So say that I'm having this ketone, and then the question says, give the product of the following reactions. So there's like a question mark here. And it says first do the Grignard reaction and then add water. We know that it needs to be done in 2 steps because Grignard reactions will react with Grignard reagent with water and form. In this case, the corresponding alkane is propane. So now what we learned before is that this is almost as if it was ionic bond. So it's going to behave like that. And what we're doing now is the nucleophilic attack. So predicting products. Remember, when you're doing organic chemistry, it's very helpful to know mechanisms. Knowing what is the electrophile, what is the nucleophile, how the attack is going to be is important. It will help you a lot to predict products. So much better than memorizing what is going to happen. So if we know this is your nucleophile, what you do is you will attack this carbon. That is your electrophile. And why is that? Because we know that that carbon is delta positive. Remember that we have a dipole here, and that is oriented towards the oxygen. Therefore, you will have the attack on that carbon. So at first, you do then your mechanism to be able to predict products. That's our goal. And when you do that, the first step will be then nucleophilic attack. You create the alkoxide. So pay attention, what is that you're adding? You're adding this fragment. So you will be adding now this. That's what you have added. This line here is just a bond, right? And you had, on that side, you had an ethyl. And that's not your final product, that's the alkoxide. The final product will have an H here, right? So you will have that alcohol. You started with ketone, you end up with a tertiary alcohol. So let's do another example of that. Let's say that I have now I have this question that says that you make this react in a first step with, here you have an epoxide, and then you're gonna have hydrogen, so acid condition. So again, this epoxide, what's going to happen is again a nucleophilic attack. And we need to remember then how the polarity of this bond, so we're going to put here plus and here a negative, and continue using the same reasoning here. What you will do is the nucleophilic attack. But where? You're going to attack on one of these carbons. So you're going to do that nucleophilic attack and open up the epoxide. So again, what do we need to do now is connect this to that. So when we are drawing our products, that is connected to that, and you're going to get 1, 2 carbons. So that's the bond that already existed, and then an O, that's O negative, and finally, you need to protonate to get to the final product. And this is, notice, let me highlight that what is that you're adding here, these 2 carbons. So this you had, and you added this 2 carbons to the molecule. Remember that we use Grignard to add carbon. It's a way to making new carbon-carbon bonds. So finally, I want to give you another, a different reaction. And that is, say that I have another Grignard, and this is phenyl magnesium bromide. Again, we know that this is polarized this way, plus a negative here. And the reaction says, the question says that Here you have one first step with carbon dioxide, and in the second step, you add hydronium. And here we know this is our nucleophile. So what is going to be your electrophile? So let's draw carbon dioxide this way. And now again, you know that the electrophile is that carbon. So let's do the nucleophilic attack. So over here. And you will need to open that up. Carbonyl. So you will form the following. You will have phenyl, and now you have this. As you can see, this is, oh, I forgot, very important that if this is phenyl magnesium bromide, I need to have all these bonds, right? Otherwise, it was cyclohexyl. Okay, so this is a carboxylate. And after you add the hydrogen there, you have synthesized benzoic acid. So that's one way of synthesizing carboxylic acid. Use Grignard with carbon dioxide. You have added only one carbon to that. So these are reactions that we, some examples of Grignard reactions, and now we're going to be doing in other videos examples of synthesis.